Hi, I'm Dr. Jen Peña, and I'm here to tell you the scoop on all the headlines in sexual and reproductive health that are dominating your group chat. This is Doomscroll.
Hi, it's so nice to see you again.
Hey, Annie, it's great to see you.
I think the first thing I want to talk about is, as a college student, you hear a lot of conversation about nudes and sexting, especially among people who are in long-distance relationships. I wanted to know if there are things that we need to be more aware about, or if there's any opinions you have about sexting.
Sexting and sharing nudes is not without implications, especially when there's people who might be participating that are not giving consent.
Just to clarify for anyone who doesn't know, what is sexting or sending a nude?
Sexting is the act of sending sexually explicit messages or videos or imaging through either text or social media platforms.
Are there any legalities around sending nudes or receiving a nude? And what if it's a message, like a text, instead of a photo?
Some things I tell folks is, make sure that you are of age to consent, and that can be 18 years of age in many jurisdictions, but it isn't in some. So know the laws of where you live. Remember that, minors sharing this kind of information, sexting, nude photographs, actually can be considered child pornography in some places. And this is a huge legal issue and has big legal consequences. There's something called revenge porn. I don't know if you've heard about this one, but some jurisdictions have laws against that, where essentially it's somebody who's sharing explicit information without their consent as a form of revenge or harassment to get back at them. And this is actually considered illegal in some places.
Talking about revenge porn, what should you do if you send somebody a nude and then they end up sharing it without your permission to the internet or to other people?
So a few things we should do is, if this happens, keep some evidence, right? Take some screenshots or the image that's being shared without your consent in the event that you decide to report this and take some legal action. A lot of things that are posted on the internet, unfortunately, can only be removed by the person who posted it. So try to see if they'd be willing to remove it immediately and make it clear that if you didn't consent to put it there, they can face legal repercussions. You can report it to the platform. So if it's posted on a social media, a lot of the social media platforms have mechanisms of reporting non-consensual posts like that.
I know that that's a major way that nudes and sexting tie into consent. Are there other ways that, like, just the act itself consent should be considered already?
So like we said, sexting is very similar to having, non-consensual interactions in person, right? And so you have to remember consent. We have to make sure that it is affirmative, that people are in agreement to exchange messages of this nature. The internet tends to keep everything in terms of content. So how that information is handled, stored, and shared without your consent might unfortunately sometimes be in perpetuity.
What do you think the number one takeaway around sexting and nudes that should be shared with students is?
Be respectful. Sexting, just like other sexual interactions, relies on good and open communication, mutual consent, and a deep respect for each other's boundaries and privacy.
I hope that this is something that people learn to understand a little bit more, and I'm excited to talk to you again soon.